Are you surprised by a couple things? That the destruction in Gaza now, people are blaming Israel? What do you think of that? Like, people are looking at Israel like it's their fault of all the destruction and in Gaza, when in reality it's like they're defending. Now they have to defending themselves. Are you surprised by that? Are you surprised by the amount of protesting on the West, in the West, about the anti-Semitism in the universities? What's happening? What's happened, I should say, since October 7th, and how many people are in support of Hamas in the West, I should say.
Look, Israel is the victim, or the only victim actually, of a genocide. This is what happened. So accusing Israel of committing genocide while they are the victim of a genocide is not only unfair, it's absurd and so twisted. And like basically to take I don't want to say a rape victim and accuse them of being a rapist or being
but that's fault. Basically what is happening.
This is exactly what happened.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening.
So basically, Israel being accused of something that is suffering of. And the Gazans, they gave Hamas cover. They supported Hamas. They did not condemn Hamas. They hated Israel. They believed in the ideology of annihilating or having a genocide against Israel, which eventually took place, for many, many years, tens of years, since the establishment of the State of Israel. Palestinians did not agree to the existence of the State of Israel. Yasser Arafat, it was a tactical thing. He approved it on paper, but that was ridiculous. It was not sincere. And they didn't do anything in the education to actually change the paradigm or help the public accept Israel as a reality. Instead, they incited against Israel. So the practical steps on the ground weren't helpful to change this idea of the Palestinian society, and the idea of annihilating Israel or ethnically cleansing everybody. It kept growing.
Yeah.
It kept growing. And this is what we had to face eventually on October 7. It was not just the day of October 7. It was just the whole process of indoctrination, of political campaign, political propaganda.
But how did they do it so well in Europe, in the West, like the U.S., Canada, everywhere else beyond the Middle East? There's millions of people protesting for pro-Palestine, free Palestine, blah blah blah. What was the tipping point, in your opinion, of how that happened, where Israel, the Jewish people, became truly the enemy and the oppressor? To such a level now? That's what I'm curious about. Did that surprise you in the West? Because you have like the LGBT, you have the LGBT,
LGBT.
Yes.
QH.
Thank you. Exactly. Protesting. Meanwhile, they would be shot and killed if they even entered.
Right.
These places. Is this surprising you? The amount of support coming from that, going towards that side, and what is that tipping point? What happened to indoctrinate kind of the Western culture to such a level?
I don't want to say that this was a surprise, because hate doesn't know political boundaries, and it's. Instead of seeing it as pro-Palestine, I see it as anti-Israel, anti-Semitism, anti-Jewish. This is the opportunity of many people who actually hate the Jewish community, and they have a problem. So they basically projecting their hatred, trying to inflict pain on the Jewish people. And again, instead of condemning Hamas for committing a genocide against Israel, they were very fast to condemn Israel of committing a genocide. Totally twisted. And this is hatred. And they don't even know what Palestine is.
They don't even know. You go ask people who are marching and protesting, saying whatever, the river to the sea. They don't even know if it's a river or a sea. They have no idea.
They don't know what river or what sea.
They know nothing.
And again, like many, they don't know even what Palestine is.
They don't even know what Palestine is.
And this takes me back to my childhood, where I got fed up with the cause, because the cause, everybody is swearing by the name of the cause. And all the corruption, all the abuse, all the torture, all the violence can be justified by the name of the cause and for the cause and because of the common enemy. So this is where I was, screw this cause, I don't care anymore. First, fix the basic things, stop abusing children to begin with. Then we can talk about nationalism and the bigger issue. And now it seems that this phenomena called Palestine or cause is an ego trick. So many people need the mask. I played the game myself growing up, and my father still playing that game, that many people...
Where is your father now, by the way?
He's in Israeli prison.
Are they trying to get him back with the, I guess you don't know, with the hostage exchange? I'm sure.
I don't know. I don't think so, because he's not spending long life term. He's just temporary there.
What do you mean temporary?
Temporary, like he's not spending, let's say, 100 years. Like
how much is he spending there?
He's just
hanging out?
six months under administrative detention.
For what?
For just being a Hamas leader.
They can just let him out they're going to have to let him out in 6 months?
Yes, it's democracy. If you don't have anything to convict him, this is how Israel, and this is why it's very hard fight for Israel, that actually many of the high-profile terrorists had to be released because Israel could not convict them. And if you cannot convict somebody, how can you keep them in a prison in a democratic system? And Hamas takes total advantage of this situation. But anyway, it's taken us back to the cause, that many people need the cause. And what I see here, angry, frustrated crowd projecting their personal hatred on this cause. They don't know that this is the contribution of so many societies through and politicians, criminals, whatever you want to call it, throughout the conflict called Palestinian conflict, that anybody could adapt the cause, say this is my cause, and try to project their hatred through this medium, through this device called Palestine. But what is Palestine? We don't know. Is it a political entity? Is it nationalism? Is it ethnicity? Is it ethnic group? Is it a religion? Is it all that or minus all that? We don't know. There is no such a thing. It's hypothetical. It's just a very broad term called Palestine. And when people go blindly, say just pro-Palestine, meaning anti-Israel. When they say Palestine from the river to the sea, they're not thinking Palestine. They're thinking wipe out Israel, annihilate Israel, the total destruction of the state of Israel.
Right. You're saying they don't care what they're saying as long as Israel's gone is basically the bottom line, which means that like there's been so much anti-Semitism and Jewish hate just bubbling under the surface for so long, and any reason or excuse to kind of bring it up is what's happening. So then the next question I have for you is, do you see a